la 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 What?
We're already live.
Yeah, I wanted to do. It's 69 days to Halloween. We are real close.
Yeah, we are.
I thought you'd be excited about that.
I am. I'm very excited.
It's the Boo Fest.
Oh.
So I decided I'd just put that banner up and play some little girl doll music in the background. Get your spirits riled up over there in Haunted Doll Island.
Nah.
The Ranch of Haunted Dolls.
The Ranch of Haunted Dolls.
Haunted Kevin. There's nothing spookier than Kevin Kane. Evil laugh. So you got some good stories lined up, I assume, and you're going to talk about a doll. We're gonna do an EVP spirit box necrophonic thing, give a jigger to think tonight.
I got me some of these things finally here.
Oh, I got some of those too. Yes,
I know you do.
So there we go. Cross if you are cross-eyed. I mean, if.
Well, see, I'm going to laugh and it's going to cross.
You're going to use divining rods tonight, along with everything else. You're going to bring out the REM pod as well?
I guess I could, because this is an adult spirit haunting this dog.
Oh, gosh, no, not a dog.
Here
we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize in advance, but according to Kevin, it's going to be an X-rated show tonight. Started this early just because it's Halloween, and I thought I would spook things up a little bit in the introductory half hour coming up to our 7 p.m. show, which we're really early. We've got like 6 more minutes to go. That gives Kevin time to get his crapola together, along with sharing the live stream and all kind of certain places and whatnot. And who's the magic doll? Oh, by the way, this Chris Corson already came in and said hello from Dothan. I guess you saw that. So we put that up there. And then my friend up in Blount County for the Blount County Bigfoot Association already dropped by and said, hello. So we're already getting people just popping in saying hello, good evening. Everybody's getting wired up. This time of year, every day for the next 69 days, the veil gets thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner until all of a sudden, well, that could be why the cat ball went off real crazy a week or two ago.
Yeah.
because the veil is getting so thin, just like Kevin's hair. Very,
Heaven's hair.
very thin.
I make
Uh,
fun of his hair, don't
our friend Catherine had surgery today, and
you? Yes.
so I drove her to uh, Grandview, and been up since like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know how that crap goes. But
Yes, I do.
so she's in recovery mode. Everything went well. She survived it, and hopefully it'll give her a good, better life going forward. But she is. Uh, if she pops in, I'll be surprised. But who knows? You never know with her.
Yep.
Maybe they gave her some good drugs, and she'll be funny. So who's the doll we're going to be talking to this evening?
Well, I've got my own. Well, I've got three of them, but this is one of them. I've got my own Caroline here.
Sweet Caroline.
And it's kind of funny. I'm gonna hold her up here because I want to play her first. Because
Oh man, you talk about white.
she's a haunted prop.
Albino.
This is a replica of the Talkie Tina doll from Twilight Zone.
Oh my god. Oh yes, I remember that. Absolutely. And that doll did not like Daddy too well.
Yeah, Daddy played by Telly Savalas.
That Daddy and I knew Taylor Savalas, by the way. I used to drink beer with him out in Universal City, California. Him and his nephew.
Told me that.
Huh?
I think you told me about that one time.
Yeah.
And was his brother there? I can't remember the brother's name.
No, his brother wasn't there. He actually kept a suite in the Sheraton. There were two Sheratons there. He kept a suite at the Universal Sheraton, and he took care of his mother, who at that time was already very aged, and he would push her around in a wheelchair. And in the afternoons, would sit down in the basement bar there and drink beer and talk about things not worthy of talking about. But he was a cool guy. He was very, very, very cool guy. I never saw him with a lollipop in his mouth, though. I saw him with a beer, but not a lollipop.
Well, this Talkie Tina does talk.
She also flashes her eyes back and forth.
And yeah, she wiggles those eyes. I'm going to turn her on here. I hope she.
Where did you find her?
I found her online. And I hope I can get her to work. I hope her battery hadn't died out here. Let's see here.
My name is Talking Tina, and I don't think I like you.
I don't like you either.
Ooh. Let's see.
My name is Talking Tina, and I love you very much.
Oh.
One day, well, you don't like me 1 minute, and next minute you I don't understand.
Listen to this third one.
My name is Talking Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
Is that the original size?
I'm going to kill you. Is what?
Is that the original size of the Talking Tina?
I think she was a little bigger. This is.
Well, because out of curiosity, I was looking to see what those dolls, and there is a Talking Tina doll here on Amazon that runs $329.
My name is Talking Tina.
I doubt yours was that
You
expensive.
better be nice to me.
I could be wrong. Yours is ghostly white, though.
Yeah, it's made to look. It's black and white, or actually more like a gray and white to look like the black and white show. You know.
My name is Talking Tina, and I don't think I like you.
I don't think I like you either.
Well, let me get to that other
My
one.
name is Talking Tina, and I love you very much. My name is
Uh,
and I'm going to kill you.
want to kill what?
I'm going to kill you.
Oh gosh.
What was that? There's a fourth one, I think.
My name is Talking Tina, and you'll be sorry.
You'll be sorry.
You'll be sorry. She's so cute. All right.
All right, Talking Tina.
All righty. But I have been told somebody who looked at her picture and everything and said they felt like her doll has moved around a little bit. I've seen it turn positions.
Well, I will say this: it must be a rarity because I just searched. I found one on Amazon for $329 that was not the ghostly looking character you have.
Yeah.
There's absolutely none on eBay.
I think I got her 4 years ago, and they had them all over the place back then. So, wow, I guess.
I just looked. I can, unless they call something else. But well, yeah, okay. So there are more. I found some more. Did different kind of search, but gosh, Twilight Zone Talking Tina, $1,500. Amazon has that one for $329.99. eBay has one for $299.99.
Wow.
$1,500 this replica. Are you kidding me? And she don't look as good as you're talking, Tina.
And mine, I want to say I paid maybe $70 for it.
Well, they want that much just for shipping on this one.
Wow. So I got me a collector item.
I think I would kind of hold on to her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not getting rid of her.
I don't think I'd get rid of her.
But one of the people.
And she has 5 different phrases. My
Yes.
name is Talkie Tina, and I love you very much. My name is Talkie Tina, and I don't think I like you. My name is Talkie Tina, and you better be nice to me.
Yep.
My name is Talkie Tina, and you'll be sorry.
Yep.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
Yes. She says all those.
Talkie Tina is back again to stay. So I guess your doll says all those.
Yeah, it says all of them.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Omar.
Omar is here early. Hey Omar, what is happening to you? You're on time.
But I have been told that this particular doll does have a spirit attachment named Caroline, which that's going to be about the 3rd Caroline I have here, I think.
Wait a minute. The Talkie Tina is known as Caroline?
That's the spirit who's haunting this doll. And she is a 27-year-old, and she was sort of hippie-ish in life. And she's very playful.
Say hello to Omar.
I did. I'll say again, hello, Omar. Hello to Omar.
Hello to Omar.
Early today, hee, ha, ha, ho, ho.
I think Talkie Tina has something she'd like to say to Omar.
Let's see what she's going to say this time.
Oh, no, Omar, you're in trouble. Talkie Tina don't like you.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I love you very much.
Oh.
I don't like you, but I love you.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
What a lovely little doll.
My name is Talkie Tina, and you'll be sorry. My name is Talkie Tina, and you better be nice to me.
That's all 5 of them.
Okay, so Talkie Tina is possessed by someone named Caroline. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this doll has an attachment. Her name is Caroline. She's in her 20s, 27 to be exact. And she was sort of a hippie-ish type lady in real life and very playful.
Playful Tina.
Right, well, she dressed hippie-ish is what I was told. This was very detailed what this lady on Creepy Dolls gave to me. Now, I've never tested her out because, every doll I put a picture of out there, somebody's, picks up on something.
Yeah.
And you never know if they're just BSing or what's going on. But this one I've seen, it has turned itself, and I've not seen it. It's one of those things where it's facing one way, and when you come back in the room, it's facing sort of angled a different way. And my sister and her boyfriend noticed that one day a few months ago. He said he sat down, it was looking toward the window, and then he looked back up, and it was staring straight at him. So Talkie Tina is actually haunted. Haunted
Tina.
We're in the Twilight Zone. So I wouldn't mind just seeing if we get something. There's my phone. Gotta have the phone so we can get the ghost tube.
Let's get Ghost Tube, and we're going to get Talkie Tina to see if Caroline is going to talk through Talkie Tina.
While I'm running this box, I was gonna try these dowsing rods. So I'm gonna put the camera on this little tripod over here while I'm doing that.
Well, after the show had started and things were, I just had some music going in the background and whatnot. I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden, something jumped off my desk and landed on the floor, and my camera, which is attached to my monitor up here, flew off and landed on the floor. So there's already some weird things going on tonight. Other than Kevin. Kevin's always weird, but other than
that. He's so funny.
What are we looking at your ceiling for?
Because I'm putting the thing on for my tripod. Crap.
Well, crap.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Here we go.
We're getting seasick now. Motion sickness.
Oh. This is the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, I think that your house is going into a vortex.
Now look at this tripod over here where the cord. There we go.
There's Talkie Tina. Okay, I'm going to back out and let you have this so you can get more on the screen here.
There we go.
All on Kevin and Talkie Tina.
Yeah. There we go. Now I can maneuver the camera around if I need to. Let me see. I think I can get this thing to stand up a little taller.
Can you get it to where you can catch her face and the cat ball kind of in the same screen?
I don't know because the cord will only stretch so far on that the camera's hooked to. And let's see. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to do that and have the cat ball.
Yeah, well, put the cat ball on that brown book behind her.
Put it back here somewheres.
You see that microphone in the back, that brown book thing?
Brown book thing.
Maybe it's a photo album. I don't know what it is. Right behind her arm there on the desk.
Oh, this box here?
The other side.
The other side.
Yeah, there's a brown book looking thing.
Oh, that way over there?
Yeah, right there. That would be right in the camera.
We're going to make her turn around and have to go all the way over there?
No, if she lighted up, that's close enough for her to light it up.
Oh. Now I got to get up and get out from behind.
Oh, you poor little child.
Mr. Director there wants
I'm just trying to help you out, brother.
There
you go. Look at that. Now look, it's already lighting up. Well, look, I told you right there.
Oh. Let me get this where it'll. And not roll off. There we go. Is that? Yeah, that's in the shot. All righty. So there we go. So for everybody watching, the cat ball is right there behind Talkie Tina here. So now I'm going to do the dowsing rods. Let's see if those get in the shot there. Yeah. There we go. I'll do those for a little while. And we're going to turn on the ghost box now, the ghost hub or ghost tube. There we go. All right, Caroline. This device here in front of you, if you get close to it, I can hear you talk. And got the volume up. And the cat ball, I'm pointing at it back there. Right there. It's on the book back there. Decided to put it back there so it's in the frame. And right next to you here is the REM pod. So they should be able to hear that if it goes off. And here are these dowsing rods here. Trying to get up here in frame and get them straight. Alrighty. So what you're going to do with these dowsing rods is you can cross them like that for yes. And that's right, yes. And spread them out for no. So, these over here in frame a little better. There we go. So, Caroline, if you're here, please cross these. It's like you're trying. Is that you coming through the spirit box? If you're here, Caroline, can you make these rods cross together? Oh, there goes. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Caroline. Here, let me get a little closer up here. I want people to see. Turn the camera a little bit here. I want people to be able to see me holding these. Sorry for taking them away. Yeah, that's as best as. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you. Can you say that through the spirit box again? Caroline, are you 27 years old? Remember, cross the rods for yes and spread them out for no. Are you 27 years old? She's trying to cross them. You're doing good. All right. Can you uncross those? Oh, there you go. All righty. Is your name Caroline? Oh, she's crossing them. Good job. Thank you. Okay, can you uncross them? Can you put them back? Good job. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm talking to you like you're a kid. I'm sorry. I got. Yeah, look at that. I apologize. I'm so used to talking to the kids. You know that. So, Caroline, are you happy here?
My life.
Your life. Thank you. Go ahead and uncross them. Man, my arms are gonna get tired in a minute. But I see you're enjoying this. I can feel the pull. Let's see here. Get these on camera a little bit more. All right. For some reason, New York just popped in my head. Did you come from New York? Okay, that's a no. Did you come from California? Oh, thank you. Okay. Straighten them back up. Did you come from Los Angeles? Or close by? Oh, I see a yes coming. And what's amazing is every time these rods move, she speaks through the spirit box, or somebody does. Is there more than one spirit with you? Thank you. Can you uncross those? Do you have family with you? Thank you. Man, it is weird to feel the movement in my hands. Uncross those, please. Wow. Get back in frame here. Is your mother with you?
And your
Sounded like Anna, your name, something like that. Is her? Thank you for uncrossing those. Is her name Anna? Thank you. Alrighty. Thank you so much. I'm going to set these down for a minute because my arms are getting tired. It's been 10 minutes. Ooh. All right. Now, as I said before, there's a cat ball right behind you back there laying on that brown book. Can you make that light up for us? Or will you please make it light up?
about the system.
Did you say something about your sister? Is that what I heard? It's funny because somebody else has a comment out here saying, waiting on my sis. Are you reading the comments? There's another device here. I'm going to pan the camera down. There's another device down here. The REM pod, that funny looking skull. Touch the back of it. See how I got close to it and it lights up and squeals. If you'd like to touch that, you can, or just you can just go back there and touch that cat ball. I'm just giving my arms a break, and we'll try a couple of more dowsing rod questions. Caroline, is there anything you'd like to tell us? You can say it right here through this device sitting in front of your doll, the ghost tube. Is there anything you'd like to tell us? Tell us about California. Did you like living out there? What was your favorite part about California? What did you said you had a sister? Is that right? Do you have a sister?
Board.
Did you say bored? Are you wanting me to put up the? You sassy. You want me to put these? You said bored. You sassy thing. All right, oh crap. I've got the rods back up. It's just my arms get tired. Let me get around this camera here. There we go. Oh, that's a better shot. All right, let's spread these out. All right, you remember you cross them for yes. I'm sure you remember. Yeah, I see you moving them. Is your sister here with you? Yes. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I bet this isn't boring anymore, is it? Nope. I'm kind of moving my hands right now. All right, there we go. Is your sister still alive? Wow. Do you have more than one sister? Yeah, that's a no. She's spreading them out. Thank you. Do you have any brothers? That's a yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Did you make your doll turn around and scare my sister and her boyfriend? I won't be mad. It's okay. Yeah, look at you. Uh-huh. Yep. I don't mind at all. Ooh, she's happy now because she knows I don't mind. Do you watch television with me when I'm in there?
I love it.
You love it? Do you like scary movies? Ooh. I'm glad of that because you know I love them. You've seen me watch them. Do you like my cat, Maddie?
Only Rem.
That's wonderful. Did you have a cat before you became a spirit? Oh, I take it that you're a cat lover then. I sort of had that feeling just now. I'm really enjoying these rods. I just wish my arms didn't get tired.
Tabernacle's it.
Did you have a boyfriend?
Lost.
No. That's a no. All right. Did you have a husband? Okay. Is your husband still alive? Okay. All right, let me give my arms a rest, okay? Yeah, oh goodness. You are just enjoying these rods, aren't you? Let me give my arms a rest. Oh, we'll maybe do a couple more before we stop. Is there anything you want to tell us through that spirit box there? Or I'd still love to see you light up that cat ball back there on that brown book. Oh. Who knew Dowsing? Oh, sorry. Can you say that again? Who knew dowsing rods could be so tiring? All right. While I'm resting my arms, if you can talk to the spirit box, tell us what's your favorite thing ever. Caroline, what is your favorite thing ever? All right, we'll try the dowsing rods just for a few more minutes. Now, I have to ask about this Talkie Tina doll. Did you see the Did you watch the Twilight Zone? All right, thank you. Is that where you first saw this Talkie Tina doll? Is it because of that? Is it because you like the Talkie Tina doll in the show? Is that why you picked her? Oh. Was that your favorite TV show? Oh, thank you. Rod Serling also had the Night Gallery. Did you like to watch that? Yeah, I watched that too. Did you live during the 1980s? Yeah. And did you like the horror movies back then? Jason and Michael Myers. Yeah, there you go. You're a girl after my own heart. All righty. One more question with these rods. Are you happy here where you are? Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. That is a relief. And it is amazing how you're using these and you're putting them back where they go when you're done answering. And I just appreciate you, Caroline. Do you like the other spirits here in the house? Oh, that was a quick yes. Well, this has been amazing. I'll go ahead and put these down. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the spirit box, Caroline. I thank you so much for answering these questions. I'm going to count down from 5. If there are any spirits that don't belong, I need you to go back to where you belong. And spirits here, please back away because I'm going to close this door when I count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good night.
It was amazing. I know you stepped away, but boy, she was working these rods.
Yeah, I saw.
And what was awesome is at the same time she would answer, a lot of the times she would also answer from the spirit box at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and it's really awesome when you can feel the movement of the rods in your hands. You feel it, pulling at it.
Right.
And, for a while I thought, well, it took me a long time to get some because I kept saying, you know what, those should be easy to manipulate. So how it's not just your hand shaking, but no.
No, Kevin's hands don't shake.
I mean, I can see, it just, swing a little bit, but they're in there pretty tight.
Yeah, I played with him and the pendulum as well. And,
yeah, I got the pendulum, but I definitely want to use these dowsing rods a little more. See if my other spirits like them. So I have a haunted Talkie Tina doll from the Twilight Zone.
that made you very, very happy.
Yes, it did.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee,
which
heaven happy.
I thought of this doll and I thought about if we were going to do some funny, scary stories that kind of chimes in having a talkie Tina doll that.
Well, if you did not know, I did an introductory little thing for almost 30 minutes with some really weird music. Let me grab his phone. I'll be right back.
Some weird music, he said. So he's grabbing that phone. And we're going to, I hope, share some getting tongue tied, some spooky, creepy, yet funny tales here. And one of them I first heard when I was a kid. I think it's gone by many names. Bloody Fingers, I think, is the name I've heard most. And when I heard the story, that was the first.
Gotta love his spam calls.
Oh, you got a spam alert. Spam, spam, spam.
Spam, spam. And I hadn't had any spam in a long time. Maybe I should get some spam. He's some spam.
yeah.
Don't answer spam calls.
The food spam.
Huh?
The food spam is very good.
You like it too? Do
Yeah.
you fry your spam?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
We have done that. It's been a long time. My grandmother used to make it. Yeah, she fried it. It was pretty good. Kind of like fried bologna.
And they've even got spam with jalapeno right into it. They do. Absolutely. So anyway, we're 69 days from Halloween. And we're going to be counting that down every week.
Yeah.
And ghost stories abundant. I think Kevin you said you looked up and there's an interesting story of some guy playing a guitar and a ghost was trying to scare him and the guitar player was unscathed by bloody fingers.
Yeah, that was what I was just telling them about as you stepped away. I said the ghostly, the bloody fingers is what, or some people know it as the ghost with the bloody fingers. And
so that's one story, but there's all kind of interesting things. And we're going to develop some stories as we go along here. And some things I think that Kevin can share that he has personally experienced. He don't have to just share other people's stories when he's got his own spooky things he could scare us with. Boo-ah.
whoa.
Boo-ah. But I would assume that Catherine will be back with us next week. She had a surgery today. She's going to be fine. Just a little doped up this evening, I think, and probably sleeping it off. They put her to sleep and did a procedure on her, but it all went well. Just a long day, and anytime you go through that, it's kind of an exhausting affair.
Yeah,
Exhausting affair. So anyway, hopefully that's going to give her a better quality of life going forward. We have a lot of stories that stem from the great state of Alabama in regards to ghostly things. And some of these we have covered in times past, but I don't see any reason why not to kind of go over some of it again. We talked recently about the Tutwiler, and there's another twist on it. I don't know if the story I'm about to share is exactly the same story that you and Catherine shared a few weeks ago or not. Tell me if it is different or if it's the same. The Tutwiler Hotel is in Birmingham, actually 2021 Park Place in Birmingham. And it is a very fascinating and interesting and haunted past. Back in 1995, a bartender who was working at the hotel experienced a multitude of ghost sightings after the lights of the bar and kitchen were turned on by themselves. The bartender reportedly turned the lights off 4 times for them to be snapped back on for 5 nights in a row. However, on the 6th day, he was greeted by a mysterious and unexplained multi-course meal with candles and wine.
Oh.
Many believe this was offered by the ghost of Colonel Tutwiler himself, for whom the hotel was named. Although messy, Tutwiler was a respectful ghost, as no further paranormal shenanigans occurred since the bartender began to conclude each shift by bidding the colonel a good evening and kindly asking him not to leave a mess. At least he follows request. So when staying there, remember to tell Messy Tutwiler, take care of your dishes. So I think that's a little bit different twist than the story that you and Catherine came up with, isn't it?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that one, but I do know of that. That we included that story on my haunted tour I used to do in Birmingham.
Okay.
We covered all the ghosts there. There was one. Did that? Was that talking about the same one as the one that actually made dinner one time?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the dinner showed up and Tutwiler
Yeah.
he had to be told to clean up his mess, I think. But yeah, the bartender back there is the one that experienced those things. Um, yeah, interesting thought there for people that don't know it. Kevin's very famous for several things besides being the author of 13, 14 books. And he was also a tour guide for local ghost history in Birmingham for a couple of 3 years.
Yeah, I think we started that in 2016 or 17, right in there, and it went through to right, I guess, several or 6 months before the pandemic started, and then it never came back. I don't know what happened. The couple that owns Crown Transportation, they do a lot of they work mostly with University of Alabama and Tuscaloosa, carting the students back and forth at holiday time,
Right.
at the airport. But they wanted to do the tour here instead of Tuscaloosa because Tuscaloosa already has one. And I guess I don't know what happened. I guess after the pandemic, they decided not to come back up here.
Right. Well, there's several stories, and just to let you know, Catherine just checked in. We've talked about her already this evening. She says, give everybody her love tonight, and she's feeling okay. She's just kind of in and out of it. So everybody that's thinking about Catherine and her post-surgery evening here. Now, Kevin and his ghost tours through Birmingham means that he's a wealth of knowledge as far as ghost haunts in the central Alabama area, at least, and probably all over the state. Even though there's some places he may have not visited, I think that over the years, you've gained quite a bit of knowledge with all that. And another interesting fact about Kevin is he could write a book on horror movies. He can tell you the history. He's probably got autographed pictures of every horror film person that ever freaking existed. We had on he's a fan club leader for the lady out of Canada that starred even a Stephen King novel. Hines.
Yeah, Cindy Hines.
Cindy Hines. She was on our show.
Had an appearance in the Dead Zone, and she had a big part in the movie The Brood as the little daughter who's being attacked by the monster children.
Right. And what is the link to her Facebook fan page for those who are interested in following her and knowing more about her?
Crap. Let's see. I know it's basically Cindy Hines fan page. In fact, if it's the only one, so if you go out there and type Cindy Hines fan page, it'll come up there on top.
There you go. So go over there and follow her for updates. I think she even recently, from what I noted, may have even started going to some conventions or something up there.
Yeah, she's done a couple in Canada, and I'd asked her a few years ago, would she ever come down here to the U.S., and she wants to.
Yeah.
Some of these conventions would put out some invites. I mean, that, it would be awesome to have her and her Brood co-star, Art Hindle.
And for those Comic-Con type fans out there who love that sort of thing and like science fiction and so forth, got notification that coming up, I believe it's in April of 2023 up in Huntsville, a Comic-Con, no less than William freaking Shatner is going to be there. And he's getting up in years. So if you want to see William, you better do it before he croaks, because he's getting croakable age.
They also, it's not Alabama though, but he is going to be at Dragon Con next month in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, so he's making his rounds, which is a little bit unusual. I don't think he was that active before with some of these, but he's now showing his face a little bit more. Interesting fact about William Shatner is he is a true astronaut. He's been in space.
Yep.
uh,
We're
so
going
he took the Blue Horizon spaceship, I think, and it just blew his mind. But anyway, just a few little tidbits of information going on in the great state of Alabama for science fiction horror buffs. You're talking to Kevin Kane, who is the one-stop shopping for all things haunted Alabama. He's got more dolls in his house than Toys R Us ever had in all their stores combined. He runs a fan club. He knows he's got a portfolio of autographed pictures of people that you got Darcy more than once, didn't you?
Darcy Lynn, yeah, I've seen her twice, once in Atlanta, and then she finally came to Birmingham, and both times I got signed posters from her.
He is a true horror flick.
That was
you got Mask too. Is the Mask in the room with you?
No, that's in the other room. I got a Michael Myers mask collection. Then I've got the 3 masks from Halloween 3. And then I've got Leatherface. I got multiple Jason hockey masks.
And you've got that one that's kind of a scarecrow mask of sorts.
Yeah, I was going to say it's about time for me to start wearing some masks here and there on the show.
Well, anything to improve the looks there.
So, yeah, it looks like a scarecrow. It's called Psychopath.
Sacco, not Psycho, but Sacco. Jamie just came in and said hello and then going to go now. So bye. So hello, goodbye. And thank you for
what is that about?
I don't know. It's just in and out, in and out. If you've ever been to California, you've probably eaten at the In-N-Out Burgers.
Yeah.
And Jamie, I think, is at the In-N-Out horror show. So getting up to date, Kevin, I'm interviewing you just a little bit here because you are the man with a plan. What horror flicks are out there on the big screen? If I wanted to go to the local theater, is there any shows that we're seeing right now?
There's one definitely that I saw Friday, but the thing is, it's in the theaters, but if you have Paramount Plus app on your smart TV or whatever, it's streaming on there too.
And what is
Otherwise, you got to go to the theater, and it's called Orphan First Kill.
Really?
There was a little movie called Orphan that came out in 2009, around in there.
Uh-huh.
And it's about a couple from somewhere up north where it's real snowy. It might have been the state of Washington, but they adopt a little Russian girl.
Well, why don't we play the trailer? Find the trailer.
Well, yeah, I can do that.
Because we got to, Halloween's coming up. You want to get into the mood for Halloween. Some people want to get in the mood for Christmas. We want to get in the mood for Halloween.
Now I'll play I tell you what, I can play the Orphan trailer, and then I can play the new one now, Orphan First Kill, that came out Friday.
There you go. And then after we get through with all that, folks, somewhere around 8 o'clock or so, Kevin's got a interesting story to share with us.
Yeah, there's some funny, scary stories. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share this. And what's really cool is you'll recognize the main actress that plays the adopting mother is Vera Farmiga, who plays Lorraine Warren in the Conjuring movies. Before she did that, she did Orphan. So let me share my audio.
While you're looking that up, a quick question on all this. Isn't there a new version of the Monsters coming to the big screen or somewhere?
Yeah, Rob Zombie has one. It's the Monsters, and I think it's also going to be streaming as well, but I can't swear to it.
You got our show on the show.
Yeah. Well, I was going to get the trailer up here for Orphan. This is the original from 2009.
We're seeing kids for the first time this weekend. Not ready to adopt.
Adopting an older child is not an easy decision.
My name is Esther.
Why aren't you down at the party?
I've never really seen the point of it. I guess I'm different.
There's nothing wrong with being different,
This is an extraordinary little girl. She's very mature for her age. You seem to have made quite a connection.
Is this your house?
It's your home, too. You're just as much part of this family as Danny and Max.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
This is our new student. I'd like you all to make her feel very welcome today.
Oh, look. Little Bo Peep texts me. She wants her outfit back.
Esther, what are you doing?
Something's happening to cause Esther to feel this way.
Temper.
There's something wrong with Esther. We need to know what we're dealing with. Trouble does have a way of finding her.
What kind of trouble?
My name is Dr. Varava. I'm calling from the CERN Institute.
I don't understand. How can they have no record of her being there?
There has to be some explanation.
The orphanage has never heard of her.
I don't think Mommy likes me very much.
Why was she at your hospital? Oh, my God.
I love you, Daddy.
I can't do it anymore.
I have a surprise for you, Mommy.
What are you doing? What did you do?
That's the story. That's the glory of love.
Esther? Esther?
Coming soon to a haunted doll collector. A new doll called Esther.
Now, that's the 2009 Orphan. Now, here we are, 13 years later. Now, the character Esther is played by Isabella Furman. She was only 10 years old when she played that. Here we are, 13 years old, and they've released a new prequel called Orphan First Kill. And Isabel is back playing the part. And with the use of movie magic, they make her look like she's a little girl. And it's amazing. So here's the new.
What is he doing here?
We found your daughter. She's alive.
Be prepared for changes. We have a child therapist that she'll be working with. 4 years is a long time. What she needs right now is her family. Esther? Sweetheart, it's Mommy. Welcome home, Esther. We left it just as it was.
It's lovely to be back. I miss my family very much.
Our goal here is helping Esther acclimate back into life within the family unit.
Sorry.
I think something's going on with Esther.
Is there anything you want to tell me about your time away?
How's that possible? 4 years ago, she was still drawing stick figures.
Esther's behavior has been so erratic.
Hello, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy. I know, Mommy.
I did notice some inconsistencies.
What are you getting at?
To me, it felt like a performance.
If you're not Esther, who are you?
You gotta give
Mommy,
a little,
I made it to you.
take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story. The story. The story. The story.
The mother protects her family. No matter what.
That's the story of. That's the glory of love.
Have you seen that one, Kevin?
Yes, I saw it Friday.
Is it worth seeing?
And absolutely it is. I was worried. I was very excited when Isabella Furman announced it, I think last year, that she was playing. And I thought, how are they going to do this? She's in her early 20s now, but they pulled it off. And it's fantastic. And the other thing I was worried about is, well, this might just be a rehash of the original, even though it's taking place a few years before. And they do mention in the movie Orphan, they do mention her being with a prior family and there being a house fire. So this is telling that story. But there are definitely new twists in this movie that make it well worth watching, things I was not expecting.
So according to the trailer we just saw, it's very dramatic, very much a thriller, a lot of action. Is it that way truly in the movie?
Yes, definitely. It is definitely, it's worth watching. I don't want to give anything away.
Clearly, as you know, because you're a movie buff, a lot of trailers do not portray accurately the movie. The trailers are really good, but the movie sucks. But you're saying this movie is well worth the journey.
It is. And
did you go to the theater? Or did you have this on your TV?
No, I've got Paramount Plus, so I watched it here.
Okay.
And it was good. And the first Orphan had such an awesome, unexpected twist at the end that just slaps you in the face. That not only is she not who you think she is, but in a whole other way, And then this one, you're thinking, well, we've already got the twist. Oh, right. No, they slap you around in this one a few times in a different way. So I do like it. I like how they did that.
Now you're talking here, folks. Kevin Game, he is the haunted guy in Alabama. No one can even come close to Kevin when it comes to haunted and all that kind of stuff. He could talk a whole show by himself all night long about haunted movies and horror flicks. And what's your favorite, Michael Myers or Jason?
Yeah, gosh, that is so freaking hard because I like them both and I've seen them both millions of times. But I got to go with Halloween, Michael Myers. Well, that was the first one that really scared the crap out of me.
So Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, yeah, when I was a little kid. When I did something about, because I was just, when the commercial came on back in the early 80s for Halloween 2, first coming on TV, all I see is this white face with no eyes. And this, spooky just is like the blank expression.
Okay,
and I thought it was the boogeyman. And of course, as I got older and watched the movie, it turns out it is the boogeyman.
Megan Kelly One says Orphan not a demon spirit movie. Real humans, psycho humans are not interesting for a movie.
Oh, I disagree. Yeah, it's not a demon or well, you could say Esther's demonic, but it's
in the movie, does she create the fire? Does she use powers to do things?
No, there's no supernatural power. She's just a human monster psycho.
So Megan agrees with you on that.
But I got to tell you, humans scare me more than ghosts or anything else. So,
well, I can imagine that. Look in the mirror. No, I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Well, okay, we got just a few minutes here, Kevin, and you haven't talked about your library of books that you have.
My library of books.
Library is a famous author. He's done ghost hunting. He's a ghost tour guide. He's a haunted, scary movie, monster flick. Just so overeducated demonic guy.
Megan mentioned Annabelle first.
Yeah,
that comment right there. And looky, last Halloween, I can't believe it's been almost a year, but last Halloween I met the real Annabelle in Connecticut. So that was
after Kevin went to that doll right there, he then visited the graves of the Warrens.
Yes, the graves of Ed and Lorraine Warren, where we got some pretty interesting our friend went with me. Oh my gosh.
Chuck. Chip and Kayleen.
Yeah. I started to call her Charlene. I said, I don't know what I'm thinking.
Combination of her and her
husband. Chip and Kayleen.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to stop myself. I was like, it ain't Charlene.
And
Yeah,
they've got quite a collection of their own haunted items up there in Virginia's.
yeah. But there's my newest book, Dark Awakening and Other Tales for a Midnight Hour. But I do have and this is a short story short horror stories and supernatural stories I wrote. But I do have a new book. I'm about to, well, I've got a few chapters to go, but it's going to come out this fall. And it's called Fear Not, Weep Not. And it's more of an inspirational nonfiction book.
Oh,
So
now you're trying to mimic me.
I'm just putting everything out there. I've got everything. I've got everything from short story, funny, to historical, to horror.
Hysterical.
And then, of course, my haunted doll books. Where we go?
So remember, go to myhauntedDolls.com and you can
Yes,
run into a lot of his stuff right there.
myhauntedDolls.com.
He does sell those bumper stickers.
Yes, I do. And the books
he'll
are
be
all
glad,
out
he'll
there.
be glad to take your money so you can advertise for him.
Got supernatural novels based on some of my actual haunted dolls and paintings.
Yeah, that's the one I call the clickbait book.
Crimson, the blood painting, not the Roll Tide.
And yeah, so now we're going to segue into a interesting, you said somewhat funny story about a ghost, bloody fingers, and a guitar player who was, I guess you say, was not bothered by the bloody fingers ghost.
And by the way, and before I do, by the way, even Bigfoot loves my books, so be sure to.
Yes, and also Billy D. Williams has a copy of Kevin's book.
Yeah, there he is, Billy D. Williams.
And his book, Billy D. Williams, if you're interested in his things, he has his biography coming out in 2023, which he showed me part of his manuscript, and he also showed me a lot of photographs of himself. Found out that he started acting on Broadway when he was just a little kid. The occults and witches, even the high priestesses, do not even know how the spirit takes offerings. What do you make of that, Kevin?
That's kind of out of the blue. I don't know.
The Hank Blue. The Hank Blue.
The Hank Blue. That's a book by my friend
Johnson.
Yeah, Kim Johnston.
Yeah.
Which is a true story about a haunted location in Rock City.
All these southern Alabama old homes, they painted the roofs of their porches Hank Blue.
Yeah.
And he's got the divining rods.
Divining rod. I'm going to divine myself here. Here we go.
Yeah, well, it's demonic. It's not divine.
Oh. Yeah.
So you ready to get into your story?
Yeah, I got the bloody finger story. He's been sitting up here screaming at me to read it.
Well, let me make room for your big head.
Nah, my big head. Here's the story of Bloody Fingers, or the ghost with the bloody fingers, or so I think I've heard some versions, Bloody Fingers Knocking at Your Door. But this one, and there's a version of this in that famous book, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. But here goes the story. A businessman arrived at a hotel late one night. Ooh, I've got sound effects. And he rang for a room with the hotel bell. And the room clerk came along and he said, I need a room for the night. The room clerk told him the hotel was all filled up. And the clerk said, there's only one empty room, but we do not rent that room because it is haunted, very haunted. Shut up, said the businessman. I don't believe in ghosts. I'll take the room. I'll take it. So the man went to the room and he unpacked his things and he went to bed after getting settled in. But as soon as he did, a ghost came out of the closet as the door swung open on its own. The ghost held up its hands and its fingers were bleeding. The ghost was moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers. When the man saw the ghost, he was so terrified he grabbed his things and ran. The next night, A woman arrived at the hotel very late. Same thing, rang the bell. And again, all the rooms were taken except the haunted, very haunted room. But the lady was desperate. She said, I'll sleep there. I'm not afraid of any ghosts. I ain't scared of no ghosts. But as soon as she got into bed, the closet door swung open, and the ghost came out of the closet. Its fingers were still bleeding, and it was still moaning. Bloody fingers, bloody fingers. The woman screamed and dashed out from under the covers and took off after having one look. Well, a week went by and nobody bothered the clerk, but then another guest arrived very late one night the following week. And this was sort of a young guy, sort of hippie-ish, cigarette hanging out his mouth, got the shaggy vest on from Scooby-Doo, got the long hair, glasses, the eyes kind of closed as he's talking, and he comes in, sort of rings that bell, and the clerk comes out, and once again, same situation. There's no room left but the haunted room. The hippie said, oh, man, such is life. Give me the room. I'm not scared. So he goes to the room and he unpacks. And he's got his guitar with him. I forgot to mention that, slung over his back. So he takes that off and gets in his shorts and T-shirt. And he gets in onto the bed, cross-legged, and goes to strumming that guitar. And soon, the closet door swung open. And the ghost soon appeared from the darkness of the closet. And just as before, its fingers were bleeding, and it was moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers. And the hippie guy sort of looked up, looked around, wow. And he kept on strumming the guitar, paying no attention. Well, this was a surprise to the ghost, as nobody had ever just shunned him before, so he comes closer to the bed. Bloody fingers. Guy cocks his head, and he just keeps on playing the guitar. Ghost comes around toward him, bloody fingers, and he kept moaning and letting the blood drip and moaning, and got right up on the guitar player. Bloody fingers. And guitar slayer slaps his hand on the guitar and looks up at him and says, man, dadgum you, get yourself a bloody Band-Aid. And that's the end of the story. Oh, Kelsey, look at this. Kelsey has disappeared. The bloody fingers took him. Just took him. All right. So as he's away, I'm going to go ahead and share. I got plenty other scary story or funny / scary stories here. In fact, let's see here. I got one here that claim. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This one is the cursed doll. So as I am a big fan of the haunted dolls, I've got one or two claimed to be cursed, but not all of them, and none of them have harmed me yet. But since I'm such a big fan, let's go ahead and tell this cursed doll story. There was a little girl who really loved dolls. She had a big collection of them in her bedroom. One day, while she was browsing through a shop on her own, she spotted a really beautiful doll. It would make a perfect addition to her collection, but she only hoped she had enough money to buy it. How much is that doll, ma'am? She asked the old woman behind the counter. The doll is not for sale, replied the woman. But it's so beautiful, said the girl. I really want it. The old woman became irritated. I told you it's not for sale, she said. Oh, why not? Persisted the girl. Because this doll is cursed. The little girl thought for a moment, and then she said, well, that's okay. I don't mind. I'm not going to sell it to you, the old woman said. But if you really must have it, go ahead and take it. It's yours. But if something bad happens, don't blame me." "Oh, yes, thank you," said the girl, smiling as she grabbed the doll and walked out of the shop. The little girl was so delighted to get the doll for free that she ran all the way home, carrying it in her arms. When she got home to her apartment building, she went into the lobby. It was deserted. She stood there waiting for the elevator to arrive. The doors opened and she stepped inside, clutching her new doll tightly. The doors closed, but the elevator did not move. The little girl got scared and began trembling with fear. "Oh no," she thought to herself. "Is this the curse of the doll?" Suddenly, she felt the doll move in her arms. Ever so slowly, it turned to its head to face her. The girl wanted to scream, but she could not make a sound. The doll's eyes fluttered and opened. It stared at her with lifeless glass eyes, and then its mouth opened and it said, "Why don't you push the button to go up, bitch?"
God. God. Jeez. Lord.
That's a good, funny story.
Oh, my
That's
God.
funny stuff right there. I don't care who you are. That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Gee. Yeah. Oh, man.
It's a funny haunted doll story.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got a feeling that
got
Miss Catherine over here enjoyed. Caroline over here enjoyed it. See, I got Catherine on the brain. She must be channeling us right now.
I don't know if she is watching us or not. I don't have a clue if she is being entertained by us tonight or not, but our thoughts are with her regardless, wherever
Yes.
she is in the midnight hour. It is 8:07 p.m. We're coming up just 69 days to the big, huge, only holiday we're celebrating. It's called Halloween.
Happy, happy Halloween,
Halloween, Halloween, happy, happy Halloween, happy, yahoo. And keep in mind on this happy Halloween that it is what? Just a day or two prior to the Day of the Dead?
Yeah, I think was it all. I was talking about the on your Facebook thing. All what is it? One of them's All Saints Day, and the other's All Souls Day.
So, real brief then, since you are the educated one amongst us with all things horror and Halloween, tell us a little history lesson about Halloween and Day of the Dead and how this kind of all comes together.
Oh crap! I didn't know I was going to have to give a little lecture on Halloween.
Yeah, you should know that stuff off the top of your head.
Well, I can paraphrase it. I know what I recall. Didn't it start out as some sort of a holiday for the Druids where they did sacrifices or celebrated the dead that had gone on before them? Or I think in some traditions it was the night that the veil between the living and the dead was lifted and the dead walked amongst the living.
Well, in a Hispanic tradition, it has to do with just honoring the dead, which is still done by many cultures, remembering those who have died. Kind of like we have a Memorial Day, they just took another twist on it. There's even a culture in Indonesia, a village that even digs up their dead and cleans the bodies and restructures the coffins and actually dresses up the deceased and spends some time with them before they rebury them. So different cultures kind of approach it different ways. And it does seem that the end of October, beginning of November has got a lot of history with the veil being the thinnest, as Kevin referred to. And off the top of my head, I can't go into detail with all that, but that's kind of where it sits. So I think it all has to do with the leaves are falling off the trees. What happens in the fall, of course, everything dies. That's why we talk about the dead of winter. We don't talk about the life of winter. We talk about the dead of winter. and the leaves fall off the trees. That time of year, if you spend any time, everything, the sounds carry a lot further because
Ooh.
there's no foliage on the trees or anything to buffer the sound. So you'll hear strange noises in the woods behind your house. And when it gets colder, things snap, crackle, pop louder, and you hear footsteps and you hear heavy breathing. So it all sets the mood for us getting close to the dead.
Yeah. Well, shall I
You got some more stories?
carry on with the?
Carry on, because I did not. I had a long day. I took Catherine early this morning for her surgery, and I didn't do any homework on this show tonight. Period.
Why
None.
so?
Zilch, nada, nothing. I didn't do a freaking thing except to hear you talk about bitches and shit like that.
Well, there's a whole bunch of these stories. We're not going to run out.
Kevin and his potty mouth.
Here's one about the ball pit. Now, if you ever been in Chuck E. Cheese or whatever it's called now,
And what?
what is it called now? But anyway, that kids' pizza place.
Yeah, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is Chuck E. Cheese. Originally, it was Showbiz Pizza. Now it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I think there were two different ones. I think Showbiz Pizza went out of business.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese was one.
Well, they both had that scary looking bear. So, but anyway, they were known for their ball pit, and of course, they have those in other kids' fun house places. And
okay, you said you're talking about ball pit.
The ball, like the rubber balls you jump into, and
you jump in there, and
yeah,
it's like a swimming pool of balls.
And this is a scary but silly, scary urban legend about one of those areas. The hidden dangers that could be lurking beneath the hundreds of brightly colored balls in a children's play area. So a mother took her eager 3-year-old son to a fast food restaurant for lunch. The boy finished his lunch quickly and asked his mom if he could go play in the play area. The restaurant had a special little play area at the side with some tunnels, a slide, and a ball pit for kids, filled with plastic balls. She watched as the boy crawled through the tunnels, went down the slide, and jumped in the ball pit. He jumped up and down on the brightly colored balls, dove into them, and buried down under them. The boy had been playing for about 10 minutes when, all of a sudden, he stopped and began to cry loudly. The mother rushed to her son, picked him up, and asked him what was wrong. The little boy just wailed and pointed to his butt. His mother pulled down his pants and saw 2 little red marks on one of his butt cheeks. She thought he must have just sat on something sharp, but just to be sure, she took him to the hospital. A doctor examined the little boy in the emergency room and told the mother that the marks on her son's butt were a snake bite. The doctor gave the boy an antidote for the snake poison and kept him in the hospital overnight for observation. The next day, the boy's mother returned to the fast food restaurant to complain. She approached the counter and shouted at one of the teenagers who worked there. "My son was bitten by a snake in your ball pit," she screamed. The pimply-faced teenage boy just shrugged and said, "Well, you should count yourself lucky, lady. A kid got eaten by a shark in there last week." Hey, that's funny. I don't care who you are.
I don't care who you are. Have you ever been to Abbeville, Alabama? Abbeville, Abbeville, Alabama?
No, I don't think.
Well, in Abbeville, Alabama, there's something known as Huggin' Molly.
Oh, yeah.
It's best to stay at home when the sun sets in Abbeville, Alabama, if you want to avoid Huggin' Molly's chilly embrace. As the legend goes, beginning in the early 1900s, an oversized figure clad in all black began roaming the streets at night, looking for unsuspecting victims. Once she fixates on someone, she hugs the person and screams loudly in their ears. Many people have recounted stories of being chased by what they believe was hugging Molly. Local parents have even taken advantage of the story to keep their children in line. Watch out, Kevin. Hugging Molly will get a hold of you and scare the crap out of you.
I might get hugged to death. Oh, no.
The town embraces its nighttime warden, proudly calling itself the home of Hugging Molly. And oh, if you're going to go to Abbeville, Alabama, don't forget there's even a restaurant named after her.
Ooh.
Eat at Hugging Molly's at your own risk. At your own risk.
Every time you say Advil, I think of the pill you take for a headache.
Oh yeah, Aleve or Advil, yeah. Yeah. Well, after she screams in your ear, you might just need that Advil.
So she hugs you and then screams in your ear.
Oh no!
I guess that hug is the early apology for the scream to burst your eardrum.
Look, we have company.
We got company. I wonder if she.
In the darkness, out of the dark came the one and only, the Catherine Marie. After her deep dark surgery on her drugs, she laid in the still of the very cold, cold night. And the darkness was looming upon us as we were 69 days away from Halloween. And there appeared from nowhere to entertain us to be spied upon Catherine Marie.
Hello. She's there. I thought.
Was that a good enough introduction?
That was a great introduction. Thank you. I'm feeling a little bit better. Getting up, moving around a little bit, not a whole lot.
Well, good, because I got work for you to do tomorrow.
Yeah, we got another wishing machine to build, don't we?
No, we don't. No.
Uh-oh.
No. We got other things to do though. We've only got 69 days to Halloween. We got some stuff to get done. We got to get the coffin ready for Kevin to come over and lay down in it for us. He's gonna tell ghosts. He's gonna next Tuesday night. He's gonna come over here, lay in the coffin in the backyard. We're gonna have it all arranged, and he's gonna tell his doll stories while laying in the coffin. What a storytelling time that will be!
So I guess I'm Spengooly now.
Hey, Kevin. Killer Kevin comes from the coffin. Killer Kevin's storytelling time from the coffin. Hello, Killer Kevin.
You know who Spengooly
I saw a book yesterday I want to get with scary stories in it to tell.
Stories to tell in the dark.
Guys, if I make some weird noises, forgive me.
Oh, you always. We would be surprised if you didn't make weird noises. So, what are you trying to say?
My mother's here too.
Hello, Mother.
You gotta talk loud, Mother.
Hey.
How are you doing, Susan?
Trying to go to sleep.
You're asleep?
She's trying to.
No, you can't go to sleep. We only have 69 days to Halloween. We're inviting people to come over and take selfies in the coffin in the backyard.
Oh, gosh.
Selfies in the coffin in the backyard.
And Elizabeth will be glad to do your makeup for you, Susan.
And Elizabeth will be glad to do your makeup. She doesn't want to do a preview, she said.
She wants to do a preview?
She doesn't.
She just wants to jump in?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then we can do that. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh. Mother said that you didn't recognize her today.
No, she cut her hair. I thought, who is that strange lady?
It looks good, doesn't it?
I was only partly right because she was strange, but I think I used the term lady loosely.
She says she's going to kick your butt next time she sees you.
Oh, promises.
Oh, yeah. She said you might like it.
I do.
Oh man, y'all are a mess.
That's the closest thing that I have to a good time is having my butt kicked.
Yeah. Kevin, it looks like we might have a little bit of interest on what we were talking about the other night.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a few comments on Facebook.
What interest is that? I'm missing something.
People are wanting another CryptoCon in Birmingham area.
Kevin Kane speaks from her killer stories from direct from the coffin. We will lay him in the coffin with 6 of his haunted dolls will lay there with him. And he can tell a story from each doll as he lays in the killer coffin. Killer Kevin from the killer coffin, live next Tuesday night.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the CryptoCon.
Well, we can do that too. He can build it up.
Kevin, did you get a new doll this week?
No.
Oh, you missed Talkie Tina.
Yeah, Talkie Tina.
And she was really talky.
Was she?
Oh, he used the divining rods tonight, and they were just totally 100% active. Of course, he might have been just playing with us. I don't know.
No, I didn't know.
I'm sorry, but you cannot manipulate the dowsing rods. You cannot manipulate them unless you put your thumb on them. You know.
Okay, so now let's ask divining rods. Divining rods, whoever is controlling divining rods, is Catherine a liar or not? Yes or no? Cross for yes, part for no. I think divining rods is no. Yeah, she's a liar. She's a liar.
It's full of
play. Oh, now it's going.
Oh,
now I'm getting hugged. Look at that.
Yeah.
I got my face touched.
What is that? That's pointing at you, saying Kevin's a liar too.
No, that's when they're embracing you.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever you want to believe.
Bear with me.
Notice they're pointing toward Kelsey there.
Yeah, right there. Kelsey's a liar.
Isn't Kelsey an angel?
Go no.
Look at that.
Even Satan's an angel. Come on.
Not no more.
Yeah. See, look right there. Yes.
He was. So he got a stupid butt going on to heaven. Satan's like a politician. He's got to have it all.
Kevin.
Look, it's pointing at Kelsey again. That over there, that little silly man.
Because I have a magnetic personality.
Oh. The only thing is, your arms get tired. Do they make anything like holders you can put these in?
It's called,
I can build you some.
It's called your hands.
Oh, but your arms mine get tired.
If your hands are getting tired, that means you need to use your hands more frequently.
Hey, I do weights now. Well, that's the thing.
I've noticed that you and Catherine both do a lot of weighting.
I lifted weights this afternoon. That could be why.
How did you lift them?
I would do it curls and over the head with the the little handheld weights. Doing the lifts.
We can get a block of wood, Kevin, and drill some holes that'll fit the rods.
It's got to connect to your hands. It's got to connect to your hands.
But it won't. But we can build it up high, but you do have to put your hands on them.
Okay. Well, I just soon hold them, I guess.
They're fun to use.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, I get to next week. I can I don't know that I can't get into like the water to fetch my magnet, but until I'm completely healed. But I can get Kelsey to throw the magnet out for me and pull it back in for me, and I can magnet fish.
Some more magnet fishing.
Oh, y'all, one of these days you'll get a metal robot fish hooked on that thing.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
$6 million man.
Okay, so the last week of this month, I believe it's this or September. Which one is it? we're going to Kentucky. We're going on an expedition with our Bigfoot couple that we interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to go kayaking in a cave. So we have some exciting things coming up. What is the date again, Catherine?
29th, 30th, and 28th, 29th, and 30th, I think.
Of August or September?
September. I think I had to look and see. I got it wrote down somewhere.
It's in my vehicle in the dash. So.
Yeah.
Muy bien. It's all good, folks. Kevin, we got 30 minutes. Do you have some more show time stuff?
Yes, I've got another funny story right here that looks
funny,
good.
Funny.
It's a scary funny about a hitchhiker.
Remember, folks, it's 69 days to the big Halloween, and we are going to get Kevin over here to the house and make him get down in the coffin. We're going to have it set up. A funeral parlor arrangement in the backyard is what we're doing. It's going to be all lit up, and Kevin's going to sit in the coffin and tell stories with one of his dolls. Which doll would you use in the coffin?
You ain't going to make me do Jack
I'm
Pumpkin.
not making you do it. You want to do it.
Kevin, I'm gonna line it.
We'll make it comfortable for you. We wouldn't want you to spend eternity in discomfort, Kevin.
Kelsey looks more like Spengoolie. He ought to lay in. So,
which doll would you use in the coffin if you did that? Which one?
I don't know if I want to tell you. That might upset them taking them in a coffin.
Oh no, this is a pleasant coffin.
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Well, you need to think about it because
we're gonna get
a really big stew right from the backyard with the Halloween decorations set up. Kevin will entice you. We'll put plenty of candy in there with you.
Oh, let's get the fat guy in there by putting candy in.
I didn't say anything about you being fat.
I can't wait till Halloween and we get trick or treaters.
Kevin, why would I want to bring attention to the obvious?
Yeah, I miss the trick or treaters in my old neighborhood. We don't have any here in the country.
Well, we will take care of that.
But I do have this funny, scary story here. The car ride.
He's trying to change the subject.
I was going to tell you. Want me to tell the story? So, the car ride.
Give me a needle and thread.
The man was standing on the side of the road, hitchhiking in the middle of a thunderstorm on a dark and moonless night. Time passed slowly, and no cars went by. It was raining so hard he could hardly see his hand in front of his face, as cliche as that is. Suddenly, he saw the headlights of a car approaching over a nearby hill. The car was moving very slowly, approaching and appearing ghost-like in the rain. It slowly and silently crept toward him and stopped. Wanting a ride really bad, the guy... Dead and risen. What in the world? So, because he was needing a ride really bad, the guy jumped in the car and closed the door. Only then did he realize that there was nobody behind the wheel and no sound of the engine to be heard over the rain. Again, the car crept slowly forward, and the guy was terrified, too scared to think of jumping out and running. The guy saw that the car was approaching a sharp curve, and still too scared to jump out, he started to pray for his life, as he was sure the ghost car would go off the road and into the river, and he would surely drown. But just before the curve, a shadowy figure appeared at the driver's window, and a ghostly hand reached in and turned the steering wheel, guiding the car safely around the bend. Then, just as silently, the hand disappeared through the window, and the hitchhiker was alone again. Paralyzed with fear, the guy watched the hand reappear every time they reached a curve. Finally, the guy, scared to near death, had all he could take and jumped out of the car and ran on foot to town. Wet and in shock, he went into the nearest bar and told everybody about his supernatural experience with this ghostly car. A silence enveloped the room, and everyone got goosebumps when they realized the guy was telling the truth about the strange car and the ghostly hand that guided it on its way. Just then, two men walked into the bar. They were dripping wet, and as they took off their rain gear, they looked around the room. Their eyes came to rest on the hitchhiker. "Look," said one of the men. "There's that idiot who jumped into our car when we were pushing it in the rain."
Oh, jeez.
I knew it was coming, so when I was saying the ghostly hand, I was trying not to laugh.
All right, so here is filmed in my backyard what Kevin is going to be telling his story from right here. Watch this little clip. This was in the backyard. This is the coffin in question. Is everybody ready?
Dead have arisen. The veil is thin.
What the heck?
Dead have arisen. The veil is thin.
See, you already got somebody in there for you, so.
No, but she's not as gory as you are.
I'm gory now.
Gory.
Well.
Kevin, it could be your new Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Coffin. Killer Kevin's Tales from the Coffin.
Tales from the Crypt.
And you can, in fact, but you can even smoke one of your cigars out there. Well, to the 69 days of Halloween. So we got plenty of time left for many stories to be told by none other than Kevin the Cane.
Kevin the Cane. All right,
Kevin, you should see my pajamas that I wore today.
Are they dinosaur pajamas?
No, they are. They look like they're mummy wrapped, and they've got glow in the dark eyes throughout it, and then it says mummy across the front. And Elizabeth saw the mummy, and she says, "That's what I call you, is mummy." But we walked into the hospital, and these two older ladies that we talked to forever were, they said, "You're a little early for Halloween." I said, "I wear this stuff all year round."
It's never too early for Halloween.
That's right.
What is wrong with people to think it's too early for Halloween? They're not right.
Never too early.
Never too early.
Never.
Well, here's another.
Dead have arisen. The veil is thin.
See, you do it better.
Okay. Well, here's another funny, creepy, silly, scary story called Sleep Tight.
Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.
There was a very ordinary boy who lived a very ordinary life.
In a very ordinary world.
He spent his days going to school, doing his homework, playing with his friends and reading books, watching TV and sleeping. His father was a doctor and his mother was a librarian. Every night when he went to bed, his mother and father would come to tuck him in and kiss him goodnight. They would switch off his light, and as they walked out the door, his father would always say, "Good night, sleep tight," and his mother would follow that with, "Don't let the bed bugs bite." One morning, when this ordinary boy was lying in his bed, something incomprehensible happened. He had just woken up when he suddenly had the strangest feeling that someone was lying next to him. When the boy opened his eyes, he was shocked to see an old man lying in the bed beside him, clutching him in his arms. In fright, the boy used all his strength to push the uninvited guest out of the bed. Wondering if he had been dreaming, the boy peered over the edge of the bed. The man was there, lying sprawled on the floor. That's when he realized the man was dead. There was a horrible smell coming from the corpse, and there were bugs crawling all over it. The boy screamed and then ran into his parents' bedroom and woke them up. His eyes welling with tears, he told them that he had just woken up in the arms of a corpse. His parents did not believe him at first, but the boy ran out and dragged the corpse back to their room. His parents were shocked by the sight of the dead body lying on the bedroom floor. His father had to get up, get dressed, and take the corpse down to the county morgue. For the rest of the day, the boy was trying to figure out how the corpse had wound up in his bed. Nobody could explain how this had happened. Was it some kind of sick joke? He wondered. Was somebody playing a trick on him, or was there a more terrifying explanation? Were there dark and secret pieces at work? Try as he might, the boy could not find an answer to these questions. That night, as he lay in bed, his parents tucked him in and tried to reassure him. His father said, "Good night. I hope you sleep tight." And his mother said, "Try not to let the bed bugs bite." After they left, the boy was still uneasy, but soon fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, he woke up to feel something cold and clammy draped around him. Again, he opened his eyes and was horrified to find himself in the arms of another corpse. Again, he shook his parents awake and told them what had happened. His mother and father were at a loss to explain these strange events. They kept asking, "How could a dead body get into your room? How is that possible? Who could have put it there? Did it get up and walk there on its own?" Scratching his head, the boy's father had to bring a corpse down to the county morgue yet again. The boy began dreading the thought of going to sleep at night. After his parents came in and said goodnight, he decided to stay awake all night in order to figure out what was going on. However, as the night wore on and the morning approached, his eyelids grew heavy and began to close. Soon he was fast asleep, snoring peacefully. He woke up the next morning and discovered that he was lying in the arms of yet another rotting corpse. The boy was determined to get to the bottom of the mystery and came up with an ingenious plan. He found a long, thin piece of black thread and tied one end of it to his bed. He tied the other end to a glass on his bedroom shelf. During the night, if something touched the thread, it would pull the glass off the shelf, and the sound of breaking glass would wake him. That night, the boy went to bed trembling with fear. His parents could do nothing to calm him down. His father said, "Good night, try to sleep tight." And his mother said, "I'm sure tonight the bed bugs won't bite." In the middle of the night, the boy was suddenly awakened by the sound of a glass shattering on the ground. He turned over in bed just in time to catch his father struggling to place a rotting corpse under the covers next to him. The boy realized that his father had a very sick sense of humor. And that's that story. I thought at the beginning when it said his dad was a doctor, that might come into play there. Well, that was a little more goofy than funny.
Well, goofy, funny. It's all good. It is all good. Don't worry about it. Just relax.
And here's one about a grave digger. I bet it's going to be funny.
Have arisen. The veil is thin.
Jeez, can't you keep her in that closet in that
Dead have arisen. The veil is thin.
Is that the dead saying howdy? So here's the grave digger story.
Ooh, let's have some grave diggers. Digging up
Years
graves.
ago.
We're digging up graves.
Years ago, many people feared that they would accidentally be buried alive. Coffins were sometimes built with holes in them, attached to a 6-foot-long copper tube. A bell was hung over the grave, and the cord attached to it led down through the earth into the coffin. If someone was mistakenly buried without actually being dead, they could breathe through the copper tube and ring the bell to alert the gravedigger that they were still alive. In a certain small town in the United States, the local gravedigger heard a bell ringing one night. He was accustomed to hearing bells ring in his graveyard. Sometimes it was just local children playing a prank. Other times it was just the wind. This time, he was shocked to see that the cord ringing the bell was being pulled from deep underground. The gravedigger put his ear to the top of the copper tube and listened. He heard a faint voice from below, begging and pleading to be released from the grave. The man looked at the name on the headstone. "Are you Sarah Bannon?" he asked. "Yes," the muffled voice cried. "Were you born on September 17, 1907? Asked the gravedigger. "Yes," came the answer from deep below. "The headstone says you died on February 20th, 1858. "No, I didn't die," cried the voice. "I'm still alive. They made a mistake. Dig me up, I beg you." The gravedigger detached the bell from its cord to silence it and plugged up the copper tube with dirt. "Sorry, lady," he said. "This is 1959. Whatever you are down there, you sure as hell ain't alive no more, and you sure as hell ain't coming up." "Sure as hell," he said. That made me think of another funny story. I can't remember how it went about the drunk guy that fell in the grave. I can probably look it up right quick because that's one of those that's everywhere. Here it is, the open grave. One dark and rainy night, a drunk man was on his way home from the pub. He decided to take a shortcut through the cemetery, but he was not looking where he was going and accidentally fell into an open grave. He tried and tried to climb out, but the dirt was too slippery and he could not get a handhold and kept slipping back down. After several failed attempts, he gave up and resigned himself to spending the night in the grave. While he was still in there asleep, another man came along and fell into the same grave. The man jumped and scrambled and did everything he could think of to get out. He started calling, "Help! Help! I've fallen into a grave. Someone get me out of here." The drunk reached out, tapped the man on the shoulder, and said, "It's no use. You can't get out of this grave." The other man let out a terrified scream in terror, jumped 6 feet in the air, and ran all the way home.
Ran.
Yeah, so he thought some dead body was down there talking to him.
Oh, Lord.
That's a oldie but a goodie.
Oh, Lord. Well, let's go back to the early 1900s in Weatherford, Oklahoma. One Katie DeWitt James left her home with her baby after she filed for divorce from her husband. She had planned to move in with her cousin, but her family never heard from her again. After an investigation, it turned out that she had moved in with local prostitute Franny Norton. She was last seen leaving the house with Franny and her child in a carriage. Franny returned with a child who was covered in blood, but without Katie. Her body was found later along a nearby creek with her head cut off. It was rumored that her ex-husband had her killed with Franny's help, but Franny claimed she wasn't involved in Katie's death. But on the day she was supposed to be questioned by the police, she poisoned herself. Katie is still around, though. She allegedly appears as a blue light floating around town, and people have reported hearing a woman looking for her baby and the rolling sound of wheels.
Ooh, and where was that again?
Weatherford. Weatherford?
Is that Alabama?
Oh, I'm sorry, Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma. Where they went.
Not far from Alabama. Not in the vicinity of, but not very far from it. But if you want to talk about Alabama, of course, you've heard of Bryce's Hospital, I assume.
Yeah.
And I know this one is near and dear to our good friend Kevin Kane, the Drish House in Tuscaloosa.
Yes, I've been in there at night.
It's been officially named the most haunted place in Alabama. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It was built in 1937 by one Dr. John R. Drish over a 450-acre plantation. And apparently, Dr. Drish, who loved gambling and drinking, died in 1867 from falling down a stairway while drunk. His wife, Sarah, became obsessed with planning her husband's funeral so much so that it became an overly elaborate event. She even kept the candles from his funeral with the intense hope that they could be used at her own funeral. And when she passed in 1884, her family searched the house endlessly to find the candles, but couldn't find them. This is said to have angered Sarah so much that she has come back to haunt the house, even allegedly causing a fire in the third-story tower by lighting the candles. The Drish House has been featured in the short story Death Lights in the Tower in Catherine Tucker Wyndham's popular book of ghost stories, 13 Alabama Ghosts in Jeffrey. It is now a venue for receptions and events, and I would bet that if you had your wedding at the Drish House, you might not want to light candles.
And they do have it open where you can do investigations there. If you talk to them,
I've done a wedding there. Yes,
you can do ghost investigations at nighttime. I can't remember how much it is, but they've got it open for that too. I know when Kim did it, and this was back 4 or 5 years ago. It was about $500 for the evening. So, but she sold tickets to gain back some money. So we had a group of people there with us.
Okay.
And we did an investigation. And we heard up in that candle room, that tower.
Right.
None of us were in there while the group was in a different room. I sat outside that candle room, that tower room, and I heard glass tinkling. They had these candles on the table, and they had those
up in the tower.
Huh?
Up in the tower.
Yeah.
And that did catch on fire at one time.
Yeah, and the candles have those, what do you call those, glass covers around them, and you could hear something tapping on the glass, like somebody might have been trying to light the candles. And I think that was her ghost.
I want to do an investigation inside of a cave.
A cave? Well, they got the Bell Witch Cave up in Adams.
And I want to spend the whole night in a cave.
I think they allow that. They allow people to come in and I don't know how much it costs, but they. In fact, I think I saw on the site they do allow overnight, but it might be kind of pricey.
Oh boy.
Mother says we have bats in our belfry. We don't need to go spend the night in caves.
Bats in the belfry.
So exactly what are we going to talk about next week as we're closing in on the last 10 minutes?
It's already 10 till. I don't know. We getting into Halloween freaky stuff now, like
freaky stuff. Freaky Fridays. No, Freaky Tuesdays. Tuesdays with Kevin Killer Kane coming from the coffin, telling his Killer Kevin Kane coffin stories.
Terrifying Tuesdays.
Terrifying Tuesdays.
Terrible Tuesdays.
Sounds like a movie night on TBS back in the day.
It's a movie night on Kevin's coffin.
Now we could, talking about an orphan earlier gave me an idea. We could do an episode I can talk about some of the best horror movies I've seen.
Which is he's only seen a couple, so
yeah, a couple times 500.
So we can do the countdown to Halloween, and we've already kind of started that because tonight marks the 69 days to Halloween, and we have had some interesting conversation tonight in regards to spooky, scary, funny, and horrendous stories to tell. And we had Talking Tina, who was with us and told her teeny stories, teeny tiny talking stories.
What day does Halloween fall on this year?
The 31st.
What day of the week, you silly man?
I saw, but I can't remember now off the top of my head.
It is on a Monday. A Monday.
A manic Monday.
That means we have a Halloween weekend. That means we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to celebrate Halloween.
Well, yeah, there is that.
I eat all the candy M&Ms, the peanut M&Ms, and I like the candy corn and the candy pumpkin. So those are all mine, and the Krabby Patties.
Just keep in mind that Kevin, we're going to put him in the coffin with his haunted dolls. And when the kids in my neighborhood come around, we're just going to send them to the coffin to get their candy from the hand of Kevin.
And I've never agreed to any of this, so I don't know why he keeps on about.
Because you're a rock star, and you want people to take selfies with you, handing out candy from the coffin. Kevin Kane's Candy Coffins, Monday night. Well, wake up! God, their tonsils are showing.
We'll get Elizabeth to do your makeup.
And makeup. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
FX makeup.
I thought I was scary looking enough, huh, Kelsey?
I'm not gonna. I'm just whatever you say. I'm not gonna argue.
Kevin, you are not scary. You are a handsome young man.
Well, it kind of she embellishes a little bit, but whatever.
I got a short.
I know. For his receding hairline, we got to get some powder. I need to loan him.
I got a short, funny, scary story. We got a few minutes left here. You want me to tell it real quick?
Get with it. Get with it.
This got a little bit of monkeying around here. It's called The Scary Hand. And one night, a little girl's parents went out and left her home alone. She turned off the lights and went to bed, but she could not fall asleep. When the clock struck midnight, the girl suddenly heard a noise at her bedroom window. As she watched in horror, a big hairy hand reached through the window, and she heard a deep voice growling, "Give me bread." The little girl was very frightened. She ran to the kitchen and grabbed a loaf of bread. She ran back to her bedroom, gave the bread to the hairy hand, and it vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. The girl stayed up all night, sitting in the corner and trembling with fear. She was afraid to go to sleep in case the hairy hand appeared again. In the morning, when her parents came home, she told them what she had seen, but they did not believe her. The girl insisted that it was not a dream. That night, the little girl was afraid to sleep alone. To calm her down, her mother decided to sleep in the bed with her and keep her company. The clock struck midnight, bong, bong, and again a black, hairy hand appeared in the window. They heard the same eerie voice growling, "Give me bread." The girl and her mother were very scared, and they quickly gave the hairy hand a loaf of bread. The hand disappeared, and the little girl and mother hugged each other tight and stayed trembling under a blanket until morning. They told the father what they had seen, and he immediately called the police. That night, 3 policemen arrived armed with guns. They went upstairs and hid under the girl's bed. The policemen warned the family that under no circumstances were they to give that hairy black hand any bread. Once again, the clock struck midnight, and once again, the black, hairy hand reached through the window, and a deep voice growled, "Give me bread." No one moved. The voice roared even louder, "Give me bread." There was an uneasy silence. The voice howled even louder, "Give me bread." The police quietly crawled out from under the bed and aimed their guns at the window, while the little girl and her family cowered in the corner, trembling with fear. Just then, a hairy black monkey poked his head through the window and looked around. "What happened?" he asked innocently. "Did you run out of bread?"
I like this silly story.
I wish you had gotten to hear the one about the doll. That was hilarious. This little girl gets a doll at the store, and the woman keeps telling her she can't sell it because it's cursed. But the little girl kept nagging her. So the lady let her buy it, and she gets it back to her apartment building. And she gets on the elevator, and the door's shut, and nothing happens. And the little girl gets scared. She thinks, "Is this the curse? The curse of the doll? The elevator's not moving." And suddenly the doll shakes in her hand, and the head turns around. And it looks like, "What in the world?" Let's wait on the clock. Ding dong, ding dong. So,
why is the clock ding donging?
Okay, so the head of the doll turns and slowly looks at the little girl, and it opens its mouth and it says, "Why don't you push the stupid button, bitch?"
Oh my goodness. Mother said if she has nightmares tonight, she's coming to get you.
But these are funny stories. They're not nightmare stories.
She's never even seen a horror movie. She's seen Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, you have. I remember you watching it at Aunt Lynn's house in Chelsea.
See, Freddie got too funny to where I wasn't scared of him no more. After the first one, yeah. Then he got funny.
Child's Play got funny to me.
Yeah. At first, it was the best.
I like a lot of Rob Zombie stuff.
Oh, that's what I call trailer park trash horror.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
He trailered up Halloween. Ooh. I never forget. I went to see his version of Halloween, and I don't know if I want to stay and keep watching or get up and walk out of the theater.
Well, that was the first. I'd never seen Halloween until that night that we watched it over in Columbiana with you and Anthony and Elizabeth.
Yeah, that was Friday the 13th.
Friday 13th. Okay.
Yeah, that was Jason.
Okay, I'd never seen that one.
That was funny watching Elizabeth get scared.
Yeah, and my little buddy's gone now.
Yeah.
But that was a good night.
Yeah.
I need to eat some of that popcorn we had that night. That was the best damn popcorn.
Yeah, that was good popcorn. and I took a bag home with me, if I remember that night.
That became part of my food.
What is that?
I have no idea because Kelsey's not on.
Hey, I see him down there in the.
I'm on.
He's playing creepy music. Is that to leave us out?
9 o'clock in the evening. Welcome to the countdown to Halloween. Here's a little Halloween ambience for you. As we think about Kevin lying in the coffin, telling his coffin story, killer Kevin straight to the coffin. That's the perfect song right there for Kevin to lay in his coffin and talk to us from the coffin. Killer Kevin.
You'll have to turn it down.
Why have I got to be in the coffin?
Because you look natural.
You look natural.
I used to work in a funeral home, and I can just see you looking natural in a coffin.
I'd probably break that thing. It probably ain't sturdy enough for my big
Oh
old.
no! I ordered a heavy duty one just for you.
It's not all metal, Kevin. It's steel
It is heavy.
and heavy.
duty. We said we have a very, very tough guy here. He's kind of a little bit rotund. So we can make sure that the coffin is capable of handling Killer Kevin.
I'm sure you were talking about yourself.
So everybody join us next Tuesday night for Kevin Kane's Killer Coffin Stories. Straight from
Next week, wait a minute now.
We're going to have the fog machine set up. We're going to have special lighting.
There's not enough time to plan there, see?
We got to plan this. We're going to do that. It'll be a new thing for Kevin. He can tell us ghost stories from. He'll the new scary guy.
What am I going to tell him? I guess I'll tell him off the top of my head because I can't read the computer. If I
No, you can sit up in the coffin. You lay there, and then you have to slowly sit up and look at the camera and say, "I have a story for you."
Story for you. Yeah.
Yes. Nothing is scarier than Kevin Kane's killer stories from the coffin of the Candy Kane killer. I need some more C words. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Catherine is making a full recovery very quickly, so we can slap her around some more very shortly. Give her a break today. Kevin is going to be coming up with some more stories, right, Kevin?
I guess I will.
Next week is a premiere show of Killer Kane's Coffin Stories. Straight from the depths.
Why next week?
Straight from the depths. Yeah.
Is that closer to Halloween time?
The countdown's on.
I know, but that would be better.
Only 7 days.
Save the good stuff for, save the best for later. Save the good stuff for later.
Oh no! Don't you want to sell books?
I can sell books out sitting in a coffin.
Yeah, but think how well they'll sell if you sit there and autograph them in a coffin and say, "This book
They'll sell just as good in October as next week.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
Oh no! No!
Oh yeah! I thought we was gonna do that. Talk about scary movies or something.
We are. That's what your new show's about. This is all about Kevin talking about horror flicks from the coffin.
Yeah.
So join us next week, and we will come up with a game plan. Kevin, don't hit yourself in the head.
I'm just dividing myself.
You are divine. Divine straight from hell. All right, Catherine, say good night.
Good night, Catherine.
Say good night, Kevin.
Good night, Kevin.
Good night, everybody. Peace.
Good night, everybody.
And remember,
Good night.
straight from the depths of hell.
I'm shooting a peace sign too. You just can't see me.